Good evening. We're going to get started. I'm Tracy Lyons, Chief of Staff for District 5, and I'm here to introduce Supervisor Hopkins.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos, bienvenidos. Vamos a dar inicio a el evento y vamos a dejar que la supervisora Linda Hopkins empiece con las introducciones para los demás. Gracias por venir.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. I actually want to start by thanking a very long list of folks who are here to participate and to share information with the community and to answer questions today. So in case you haven't gotten a chance to visit every single one of the amazing tables, I'm going to go ahead and read off all of the participants. We do have the Sonoma County Department of Emergency Management, Sonoma County Fire District, Sonoma County Sheriff, Sonoma County COAD, which is Community Organizations Active in Disaster. For those of you who are not as fluent as at acronyms as those of us in government tend to be, we've got Sonoma County Climate Action and Resiliency 211, Sonoma County Economic Development Board, the Halter Project for those of you who have livestock. We have Madronas Wildfire Defense, Safer West County, Fire Safe Guerneville, Russian River Alliance, Sonoma County ACS, which is the amateur radio over there, Auxiliary Communication Services is what that acronym stands for. Sonoma County Radio Amateurs, PG&E, the Neighborhood Auxiliary Communication Service, which is, I don't know, is that a separate one as well? And then we also have the CVNL Center for Volunteer and Nonprofit Leadership, Permit Sonoma, and a huge thank you to Raices Collective and also Copperfields for child activities and for books. And then also, if you're hungry, please check out the La Fogata Taco Truck, which is outside, and that is cash only. So with that, we have a lot of folks who are really here to support you, to help support the community become safer, become better prepared. And one of the things that I want to share really quickly is just a few highlights of what we're doing in county government. We could not do what we do by ourselves. And so I'm very, very grateful to the partnership that we've had with Sonoma County Fire District and other fire districts who stepped up. We now have $9 million a year of county general fund going into fire agencies in West County to provide more boots on the ground firefighters. But I do also want to say that that's actually not enough, and there is more work to be done. And so if you have any questions about the fire sales tax initiative that will be going on the ballot, while we are not allowed to advocate, we are allowed to answer questions, and that would actually provide quite a bit new revenue for our rural struggling fire departments. And it would also include $15 million, is that right, as a down payment on rebuilding the currently unreinforced masonry Russian River Fire Station over there in downtown Guerneville. In addition to that, we have invested very heavily in vegetation management. And so we've actually put $4.5 million into vegetation management projects, many of which are actually in and around the lower Russian River, on places up like Sweetwater Springs, Oddfellows, Recreation. We actually also just approved several $100,000 at last Tuesday's board meetings for some shaded fuel breaks at Monterey Redwoods, the regional park's own property. So we are really doing what we can to funnel money into vegetation management projects. And yet at the end of the day, we can't succeed if you don't all step up and start looking at your own properties. And so one of the things that I'm very excited about, and was actually just talking to someone who had taken advantage of the program, is that we have Permit Sonoma here tonight to explain the 4 different programs we have to actually help you as a homeowner go through home hardening and vegetation management processes on your home. And we actually have grant funding that some of which is available, some of which will be coming available next year, not only to get your home assessed, to find out what's going right, what's going wrong, what can you do better, what are the cheapest, easiest things to do, but then also actually money to implement that as well. Because at the end of the day, we are only as safe as our neighbors. And so this wasn't actually on the agenda, but before handing it over to the fantastic Misty Wood from the Sheriff's Office, I actually wanted to introduce Sonoma County Fire District Chief Mark Hine. Can you give it up for Mark Hine, please?
Thank you, Linda. Good evening, everybody. Really happy to be here tonight. I hope you take advantage of all of the public services that are presented here tonight. Sonoma County Fire District staffs the fire station in Forestville, down the street in Guerneville, and along with our partners from Monterey Fire District, we provide all the fire protection, all the prevention efforts, and all the emergency medical services out throughout all the Russian River communities. So tonight, we're set up outside tonight. Hope you come by and visit us, providing some free hands-on CPR training, providing some training, real-life fire training on fire extinguisher use, and a lot of other prevention tools that are available for you. So we're here to serve all of you. We're very fortunate to have Linda Hopkins here tonight. Linda is a huge champion, a huge supporter, and a huge partner for me and my agency, as well as all the other public agencies, in addressing community risk concerns and certainly the wildfire threat that we all experience every year. So glad to be here tonight. We're available for any questions, any concerns you have. At least just stop by and shake our hand and say hi. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Chief Hine. And I think, one of the really beautiful things about living in Sonoma County, which is truly a county of a bunch of small towns, is that we're all friends by now. We've been through so many disasters that you actually have a county where government is actually not only talking to each other, but texting each other, checking in with each other, whether it's in a disaster or not. And so I really don't think that we would be where we were today without the fantastic partnership between Sonoma County Fire District and the County of Sonoma, and your visionary leadership at leading repeated consolidation processes, which are extraordinarily bureaucratic and difficult and challenging, but is ultimately giving us a much strengthened fire network, fire risk reduction network with more boots on the ground out there to take care of everybody. And the same actually goes for the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office. I think I'm actually seeing some of the same folks who were at the fantastic Sheriff's Town Hall out in Monterey a few weeks ago. And if you didn't miss it, there may be more opportunities to hang out with the sheriff as well. But we're really, really fortunate to have a fantastic sheriff, Eddie Engram, who is also partnering very closely with our fire districts on emergency response, also with regional parks on things like high-low sirens, and also with the county on ensuring that he has the budget that he needs in order to continue to keep us all safe out in unincorporated Sonoma County. So please give a warm welcome for Misty from the Sheriff's Office.
Thanks so much, Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. My name is Misty Wood. I am at the Sheriff's Office. I manage our community outreach unit. And during disasters, I co-lead our crisis communications team. We send out all the nixles, all of the public information, press conferences, etc. during a disaster. Para la gente que habla español, también hablo español, pero, what's your name? Julie. Julie me van a asistir para que asegurar de que ustedes reciben toda la información muy crítica, ¿ok?
Ella es Misty, como dijo, trabaja con la oficina del sheriff y ella trabaja activamente durante los desastres en la red de comunicaciones, enviando todos los mensajes de nixel y de alertas para que todos reciban la información sobre los desastres.
Gracias. Okay. So the Sheriff's Office role during any disaster is evacuations. It is our duty and authority to issue evacuation orders and get you out of harm's way whenever there's a threat from a fire, a flood, or something of that nature.
El deber y el trabajo de la oficina del sheriff durante un desastre es asegurarse de que todos evacúen. Entonces las evacuaciones están a cargo de la oficina del sheriff para asegurarnos de que todos salgan del camino del peligro y que lleguen a un lugar seguro.
So there are two terms that everybody should be familiar with as we talk about disasters. There's evacuation order and evacuation warning.
Hay dos términos que todos deben conocer cuando se trata de las evacuaciones: una advertencia de evacuación y una orden de evacuación.
So an evacuation order is a requirement to leave. That is a legal order from the sheriff saying you are in danger and you have to go now.
Entonces una orden es un requisito legal de que tiene que evacuar. Es una orden del sheriff que está en peligro y que tiene que salir ahora mismo.
And an evacuation warning is exactly that. It's a heads up that you might be in danger, and it's a really good time to be prepared, start to pack your things, and be ready to leave.
Y una advertencia de evacuación es exactamente lo que el nombre implica. O sea que podría estar en peligro, que es hora de prepararse, de juntar sus cosas y estar preparados para irse en caso de que se emita una orden de evacuación.
So there are 4 easy things that you can do today to be better prepared for an evacuation.
Hay 4 cosas fáciles que ustedes pueden hacer hoy para estar mejor preparados para una evacuación.
Sign up for Nixle, know your zone, get your evacuation tag, and register your gate code.
Entonces, inscríbase para recibir las notificaciones de Nixle. Consigan una etiqueta con el código de su portón.
Know your zone.
Conozca su zona
Register your gate code.
y registre el código de su portón.
So starting with Nixle, I just want to say to everybody, yes, the Sheriff's Office is still using Nixle. Sometimes there's some confusion out there, but we are using Nixle. We only send messages when there is an urgent situation where you need to take action.
Por si hay alguna confusión, la oficina del sheriff sigue enviando mensajes de Nixle y solo los hace en una situación extrema cuando hay peligro.
And we also send out Nixles, we geo-target them. So we're only sending them to people who are either in the incident or near the incident. So the people who really need to know about what's happening, hopefully get the message and know what's happening.
Y estos mensajes solo se envían a ciertas áreas geográficas donde está el peligro. Así es que para las personas que viven en o cerca de la zona de peligro, son los únicos que reciben esas notificaciones.
And so tonight we recommend that you manage your settings, that you go to nixle.com. Number 1, make sure you're registered. But number 2, make sure you manage your settings so that you are receiving alerts from the agencies you want to hear from.
Entonces les recomiendo que vayan a su aplicación de Nixle y que se registren y que si ya están registrados que revisen su coordinación para que solo reciba los mensajes que desea recibir.
The second easy thing to do is to know your zone. The entire county is divided into evacuation zones, and these are the zones that we use during large-scale incidents to send out evacuation orders.
Lo segundo es conocer su zona. Todo el condado de Sonoma está dividido en zonas, entonces tiene que saber el número de su zona para que cuando envíen los mensajes de alerta o de Nixle y digan cuáles zonas tienen que evacuar, ustedes conocen su zona.
And so our folks over there at the Sheriff's Office table can help look up your zone for you if you need some help. Make sure you write it down somewhere that you're not going to forget. Put it in your cell phone, put it in your go bag, put it in your refrigerator, whatever works for you so that you know that zone. And you know when you get a Nixle or an alert that you are subject to an evacuation order or not.
Entonces los señores ahí que acaban de saludar de la oficina del sheriff le pueden ayudar a encontrar su zona si no la conoce. Así es que cuando le den el número de su zona, escríbanlo en un lugar donde es fácil de encontrar, en su bolsa para llevar de emergencia, en su refrigerador, donde sea que lo pueden encontrar fácilmente, para que a la hora de recibir una orden de evacuación sepan si ustedes son los que tienen que evacuar o no.
The third thing is to get your evacuation tag. This is an evacuation tag right here. This tells a deputy who's trying to do evacuations in your neighborhood that you've already left, that you're already gone.
Y esta etiqueta, y es importante que las consiga, cuando ha evacuado, las pone en la puerta de su casa para que los diputados del sheriff sepan que ya se ha ido y que no hay nadie en la casa.
So what that does, when a deputy rolls through and they see an evacuated tag there on your gate, on your mailbox, on your front door, somewhere really easily visible, it lets him or her know that you're already gone, and that way they don't have to spend time trying to track you down on your own property and they can move on to the next house.
Entonces el propósito de estas etiquetas es cuando andan pasando los oficiales buscando a las personas que no han evacuado. Si usted tiene esa etiqueta en su puerta de su casa, en su portón, no tienen que perder tiempo buscándolo en su propiedad, sino que saben que ya se ha ido y pueden seguir a la siguiente propiedad o a la siguiente casa.
So this allows us to do evacuations more quickly, which does 2 things. The first and the most important is that it saves lives because it gets everybody out faster. And the second part is that it allows the good people over there in the blue uniforms to get in and hopefully save your house during an incident.
Esto tiene 2 propósitos. Uno es que las evacuaciones se hacen más rápidamente para que así todas las personas estén a salvo y fuera de peligro, y también les permite a estos señores bomberos a salvar su casa.
And the fourth thing is to register your gate code with the sheriff's office. And so does anybody here have a gate on their property?
¿Alguien tiene un portón en su propiedad?
Okay. I see a couple. So when a deputy is trying to do evacuations and he or she comes upon a gate with a code, they can't get through because they don't know the code, right? So it creates a challenge for them where they have to figure out, is there some other way to get into your property? How are they going to get into your property to notify you of an evacuation?
Entonces, si usted tiene un portón con combinación y llegan los diputados o los oficiales y quieren entrar a su propiedad y no tienen registrado su código, no van a poder entrar a su propiedad y van a perder mucho tiempo buscando otra manera de ingresar a su propiedad. Entonces, es importante registrar ese código con la oficina del sheriff para que lo tengan y puedan ingresar a su propiedad en caso necesario.
So the registration is totally confidential. We can help you register your code over here at the table. And in that system that we have, we also share it with Redcom, which dispatches fire and medical. So the bonus is anytime you call 911, you're going to get emergency services to your home more quickly.
Y esto se guarda confidencialmente con la oficina del sheriff y esto también lo van a tener las ambulancias y las personas de asistencia médica de emergencia. Entonces cuando llame a 911, si ellos tienen registrado su código de su portón, van a poder entrar a ayudarle más rápidamente.
All right. So those are the 4 easy things you can do today. Register for Nixle, know your zone, get your evacuation tag, and register your gate code.
Entonces, esas son las 4 cosas fáciles que puede hacer el día de hoy. Registrarse para Nixle, registrar el código de su portón, conseguir su etiqueta y
Conozca su zona.
conozca su zona. Yo no conozco la mía.
So thank you for your time. If you need any help or have any questions, we can help you over there with emergency preparedness and job opportunities because we're always recruiting at the Sheriff's Office and it's a great place to work. Para la gente que habla en español, recomiendo que ustedes hablen conmigo para información en español sobre evacuaciones y recomiendo que hablen con el sargento Cortés por allá. Para entender más de las oportunidades de trabajar como miembro de la oficina del sheriff. And that's all I have. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for your attention. And next up we have Sam Wallace with the Department of Emergency Management.
Muchas gracias por su atención. Ahora viene el señor Sam Wallace del Departamento de Manejo de Emergencias.
Thank you very much, Misty. So my name is Sam Wallace. I'm with the Department of Emergency Management.
Gracias, Misty. Me llamo Sam Wallace. Trabajo con el Departamento de Manejo de Emergencias.
And I have one of the strangest jobs in the county.
Y tengo uno de los trabajos más extraños en todo el condado.
My job is to wake you up.
Mi trabajo es despertarlos.
And I'm good at that job.
Y soy muy bueno para eso.
And I'm going to tell you about how I'm going to wake you up when the time comes, because that is my role, is that during a disaster that I get the alert out to you.
Entonces les voy a contar cómo los voy a despertar en caso de un desastre, porque ese es mi trabajo, despertarlos en caso de un desastre.
Now in Sonoma County, what we learned is that no one method is going to work for everybody.
En el condado de Sonoma hemos aprendido que un solo método no va a funcionar para llegar a todas las personas.
This is especially true if you live in the Guerneville area, where you may not get cell reception as well as everybody else.
Y esto es especialmente el caso si vive en el área de Guerneville, donde tal vez no tiene una buena recepción celular.
So for a major disaster, I'm actually going to use 5 or 6 different systems.
Entonces, en un desastre grande voy a usar 5 o 6 diferentes sistemas de notificación.
Misty mentioned one of them, and that is Nixle, which I think everybody here knows, right?
Missy mencionó uno que es Nixle, creo que todos lo conocen, ¿es cierto?
And Nixle is good if you're awake and if you're paying attention, but I want to be able to wake you up.
Y Nixle es muy bueno si uno está despierto y está prestándole atención a su teléfono, pero yo quiero poder despertarlos.
So one system I use is SOCO Alert.
Entonces, uno de esos sistemas se llama SOCO Alerta.
Now you can sign up for SOCO Alert by going to socoalert.com.
Y puede inscribirse en su página web que es socoalert.com.
The big difference with SOCO Alert is that if you've put in your address and your phone number, when the time comes, your phone will ring, and you're going to hear my voice tell you that there's something going on.
Entonces, la diferencia de Nixle con SOCO Alert es que si se ha registrado, va a sonar su teléfono y va a escuchar la voz de Sam diciéndole que algo pasa.
Now, but I need your help.
Pero necesito su ayuda.
So if it's a red flag warning, or there's a high fire alert, or there's some danger, please don't turn off your phone at night.
Entonces, si estamos en una temporada de alerta de bandera roja o de alto peligro porque hay incendios o hay viento alto, por favor no apaguen su celular durante la noche.
As good as I am in my job, I cannot turn your phone on remotely.
Aunque soy muy bueno para mi trabajo, no puedo encender sus teléfonos remotamente.
So that, and of course, if you get that alert, you may see it and look at the phone number and say, I don't know this person. It's obviously spam. It's not, it's me.
Y tal vez cuando reciban la llamada van a ver un número que no reconocen, van a pensar que es una llamada basura o spam y no van a contestar, pero es él.
So if you get a call at 2 in the morning, I may be calling for the local fire department, so please answer your phone.
Así es que si recibe una llamada a las 2 de la mañana, puedo estar llamando en nombre del departamento local de bomberos, así es que por favor conteste el teléfono.
I'm going to use another system as well called the Wireless Emergency Alert System.
También voy a usar el sistema inalámbrico de emergencias, de alertas.
Well, WIA for short.
Se llama WIA en breve.
Now, what will happen with the WIA is you'll hear a very loud and scary tone on your cell phone.
Y este método de alerta lo que va a escuchar en su teléfono es un ruido muy fuerte, muy desagradable, digamos.
And then there will be a simple text message on there. It won't be very much, but it will tell you what you need to know.
Y de ahí le van a enviar un texto breve que no va a tener mucha información, pero le va a decir lo que necesita saber.
Now, I need your help there as well.
Y para esto también necesito su ayuda.
If you turn off your cell phone or you turn down the volume, you won't hear the tone.
Si apaga el teléfono o baja el volumen, no van a escuchar el tono.
I'm also going to use the emergency alert system.
También voy a usar el sistema de emergencia, de alertas de emergencia.
And you've all heard that. It's when your television or your radio does that tone and you can then hear the message.
Y todos lo han escuchado en la radio, la televisión, cuando se escucha un tono y después un mensaje.
You don't have to leave your television on all night. It's okay.
Pero no tiene que dejar encendido el televisor toda la noche. Está bien.
But we're also going to use other tools. I think the sheriff talked about it, or Misty did, about the high-low sirens.
También vamos a usar otras herramientas, creo que lo mencionó Misty, como las sirenas altibajo.
And if you hear that, that's usually a sign that something's going on. So if all those other systems don't work, that one still might.
Entonces, si escucha la sirena altibaja, eso quiere decir que algo está pasando. Así es que tal vez si no funcionaron todos los demás sistemas, pero oye la sirena altibajo, quiere decir que algo está pasando.
But you know what the most effective system that we have for giving everybody alerts? It's almost 100% effective. Do you want to know what it is?
Pero tenemos un sistema diferente de todos estos que es casi el 100% de efectivo. ¿Saben cuál es?
Neighbor to neighbor.
De vecino a vecino.
I ask you to know your neighbor now.
Les pido que conozcan a sus vecinos ahora.
And just make sure your neighbor knows that if they find out something's going on, pound on your door.
Y déjenle saber a su vecino, a sus vecinos, que si ellos se enteran de que pasa algo, que vengan a tocarle en la puerta.
And if you know about the alert, check on your neighbor and pound on their door before you get out.
Y si usted recibe una alerta, vaya con los vecinos, asegúrese de que ellos también sepan que hay que evacuar o lo que sea antes de que usted se vaya.
Sound good?
¿Les parece?
Okay, so everybody, are you going to tell your neighbor what's going on?
Entonces, ¿les van a contar a sus vecinos lo que está pasando?
Okay, I'm relying on you.
Yo cuento con ustedes.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. That's a great question. If I can, oh, I'm sorry.
May I interpret the question? Sorry. La pregunta de la señora es que en áreas donde las personas viven en barrancos, donde no hay celular, no pasan los diputados del sheriff, no entran las señales de celular, o sea, ¿cómo se comunican con esas personas? Y varias habían recomendado tocar la bocina del auto repetidamente y le está preguntando si él recomienda ese sistema.
The question or the observation is that especially in the canyons, that it's very narrow, the cell reception is bad, they may not hear everything that's going on. As you evacuate, just blow your horn all the way down. And my answer to that is, yeah, I think that's a good idea. It couldn't hurt.
El señor Sam dice que sí, es una buena idea. Mientras va evacuando, toque y toque y toque la bocina, no puede causar daño y puede ayudar.
But I will tell you that we have done tests of making noise from the road, and unfortunately, we've spent so many years trying to make our houses soundproof. That's working against us now.
Dice que hemos hecho pruebas haciendo ruido desde la calle para alertar a las personas, pero desafortunadamente nos hemos esforzado tanto en hacer que nuestras casas estén a prueba de sonido que eso va en nuestra contra ahora porque no entra el sonido de la calle tanto.
All right, there's one more system that we have out there, and I completely forgot about it.
Hay un sistema más que tenemos que se me había olvidado por completo.
We're using the NOAA weather radio system.
Estamos usando el servicio de la radio meteorológica que se llama NOAA.
And what this is that it's a radio-based system. You can get a little radio that sits in your house, and then I can turn it on remotely once you've set it up, and it will be a really loud alarm.
Entonces estos radios los puede conseguir, los radios NOAA meteorológicos, y cuando lo ha configurado, él lo puede encender remotamente y enviar mensajes.
As a matter of fact, there is a table back there, and I think they're selling them for $500, right?
Hay una mesa allá atrás y están vendiendo la radio por $500. No.
So if you, they don't work too well in the canyons because of the signal, but especially if you're higher up in the hills, then you should be able to get the signal.
No funcionan muy bien en los barrancos debido a la falta de señal, pero si vive en un lugar más elevado sí debería poder recibir la señal.
Okay, last thing. If I manage to communicate with you and tell you get out, do me a favor. Get out. Okay, if we are sending the message, it's because it's serious. We do not do this lightly. We're warning you because there's a definite threat.
Entonces lo último que les quiero decir es que si reciben uno de los mensajes de nosotros que deben evacuar, tómenlo en serio, no lo hacemos a la ligera, ¿no? Quiere decir que realmente hay una amenaza a la vida y que es hora de salir.
That's about all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Es todo lo que tengo que decir. ¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta? ¿Saben cómo suena la sirena altibaja? Una demostración.
I just had a request. Can I borrow your mic, please? I'm put this down. All right, so your high-low siren sounds different from our normal siren. Our normal sirens sound a little like this. Woo, 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 right?
Esa es la sirena normal.
You've all heard that, right?
Todos lo han escuchado, ¿verdad?
Gracias. High-low. It's kind of what we hear when we think of a European ambulance or a European siren. It goes like this. Doo, 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 doo. Different from woo, 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 right? All right, now everybody knows. High-low. Can you do it with me?
¿Pueden hacerlo?
Doo, 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 doo. Thank you. Good job.
All right, any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
I'm sorry, we have a question over here. Oh, that's a great question. So the question is, for the wireless emergency alert system, do you have to register?
Es una excelente pregunta. Para el sistema de alertas inalámbrico de emergencia hay que registrarse.
I'm going to answer in English and Spanish.
Voy a contestar en inglés y en español.
No. You can translate. You can translate if you want.
I don't think I need to. Pues
Thank you,
obviamente
that's a great
no, ¿verdad?
Yeah. It will attempt to communicate with every cell phone in the area, regardless of where it's from.
Ese sistema trata de comunicarse con cualquier celular que esté en el área, no importa de dónde provenga.
Great question.
Excelente pregunta.
Any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Well, in that case, I would like to end this on a high note, so I'm going to turn it over to Supervisor Hopkins.
Entonces, para terminar, para clausurar, le voy a dar la palabra a la supervisora Hopkins.
Thank you. I just want to emphasize a few things, which is that there is free stuff available at a variety of tables. Department of Emergency Management has these beautiful go bags, one per family, that are available over at their table. We have the weather radios, we have the evacuation tags.
Quiero enfatizar que sí hay varias cosas muy buenas gratis en las mesas. El Departamento de Manejo de Emergencia tiene estas lindas mochilas de emergencia para regalar. También tenemos la radio NOAA, también tenemos las etiquetas para las puertas con la oficina del sheriff, así es que pasen a las mesas.
And then the other thing that I wanted to repeat, just because the translation wasn't working the first time, was that the Permit Sonoma table has information on how to access those home hardening services. So it's right over there. Let's give a big wave over there in the corner.
También quería mencionar, como no estaban funcionando el equipo de interpretación al inicio, que Permit Sonoma, los señores ahí atrás, tienen información para endurecer o fortalecer sus casas para protegerlos de los incendios. Así es que pasen con ellos.
And then I also want, if you're interested in learning how to do ham radio, that is the ham radio corner over there. And then finally, I just wanted to see if Chief Hine wanted to say one more time, just for the benefit of Spanish translation.
Yeah, I'll reintroduce myself and the agencies that are here from the fire service. So my name is Mark Hine. I'm the fire chief for Sonoma County Fire District.
Yo me llamo Mark Hine, soy el jefe de bomberos del condado de Sonoma.
So those are many of the members behind me, along with the Monterrey Fire District.
Y estos son miembros del distrito de bomberos junto con el distrito de bomberos de Monterrío.
And between our two agencies, we provide the services out of the Forestville, Guerneville, and Monterrey fire stations, which serve all of the Russian River communities.
Y todas nuestras agencias trabajan en conjunto para proteger a Forestville, Guerneville y Guerneville y Monterrío para prevención de incendios.
Happy to be here tonight. We have a lot of things to share with you outside, as well as all of our partner agencies inside. So come up and meet us and say hi, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes esta noche. También tenemos actividades afuera y espero que salgan a conocer lo que les podemos ofrecer, y también a todos nuestros socios aquí en la mesa, en las
And
mesas.
specifically outside tonight, we're providing a really unique and quick opportunity for you to quickly learn how to do CPR, which is vitally important, as well as how to use a fire extinguisher in your home or business with a live prop, which is also really fun. So join us outside when you're done inside.
Entonces tenemos dos oportunidades muy emocionantes para ustedes afuera. Una es enseñarles rápidamente a hacer la reanimación cardiopulmonar, y la otra es cómo usar el extinguidor de incendios en su casa con una demostración en vivo, lo cual va a ser muy divertido.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Good to be here.
Gracias a todos.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy all of the different tables and information.
Entonces, gracias y disfruten las mesas y toda la información.